We are going to move on to the third match of the evening, and that was the team of Flying Tiger, Robbie Eagles, and Tiger Mask taking on the House of Torturers, Dick Togo and Show. I will say this. I was liking Dick Togo and Show for a little while there in the match until crap happened at the end, which it always does. They keep doing, like, they keep pulling the bull crap of having Yujiro and Evil, and it's just but in the end, Eagles, Tiger Mask, they get the win. And Robbie Eagles applied the Ron Miller special to Togo, and Togo taps out. I think the right person to tap out in this match, because I think shows the person, even in losses, you still need to protect him and you need to build this guy because he will be a star despite House of Torture.
I have to agree. I also was invested in this match. I actually was really enjoying this match because despite the shenanigans that House of Torture is always used to, the beginning part of this match was actually like it made sense and it worked. I was actually really enjoying it until Evil emerged and things just went downhill from there. What I
Yeah.
will say about this match, my favorite part of it was finally hearing the crowd because I think this was the first time fully that House of Torture got to hear exactly what the crowd thought of them. And they did not
Mm,
get to have the ability to just ha 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 do whatever they want because they can't hear the dissatisfaction. You
yeah.
could see there was a little bit of a difference in some of the facial expressions of them as they're sitting there like, wow, we're they don't like us. So that's the only thing I'm going to say about this match. I loved it. I loved hearing the crowd again, and I loved how much all of these guys were actually playing to the crowd at certain points of every match.
Yeah, I thought it a very good match, despite what happened later on. I think Togo and Show did have a good showing, and Flying
Hmm.
Tiger, former junior tag champs, they always look good together, and I'm glad these two came back together for this tournament.
Hmm.
And I'm going to change it up. I'm going to choose this as my pick for tonight, actually, because it was between the one you picked, this one, and the main event. I'm going to go with this one actually because of choice I have for the second night of the Super Junior Tag League. But I
Okay.
want to highlight this match because Chris Bay and Ace Austin. I've met Ace Austin, absolutely wonderful human being. When I got to meet him here at RCW, but just the the sheer ability out of both those men is incredible, and the fact that they have been teaming regularly on Impact for the last like 6 months since Ace Austin came back as from the junior super junior the best of super juniors, and
Hmm.
when he joined Bullet Club, I think that was the perfect thing because it gave Chris Bay a great tag team partner to work with in Impact, and I think it really got them ready for this tournament and had both men, I think, in the right way so they knew the moves they were going to do together, everything like that. And then Bushi and Teton, oh my, absolutely phenomenal. Like I was kind of poo pooing on Teton when he showed up. I think it was more of just me trying to bug Mel, but
You do
I
that.
absolutely am impressed by this man. Like just the sheer abilities this man has, just it's almost impossible the way that the hops and the dives that he does. It almost seems impossible, but it's it's the beautiful like just athleticism of all these people, and just I am absolutely blown away by this match. If you like, for me personally, if you're going to watch any match from tonight, I think it's just the style of these guys and the fact that Bushi and Teton have only been teaming together for what, a month now.
Mhm.
Just the flow they had together, and then the flow that Ace Austin and Chris Bay had. It's just there's so much in this match. Like
Mhm.
just there was this really great spot where Bushi got this like beautiful but just really odd head scissors on Ace Austin, and Ace Austin just kind of goes weirdly falling over. It just
Yeah.
it was. But it looked not. It didn't look bad. It looked like,
Mhm.
oh, this guy's really effed up by this move, and it's just the moonsaults from Chris Bay are just
Mhm.
great. There's a moonsault leg drop combo they have. They just look so smooth when they hit it together. It's like when Bay does the moonsault, Nace does the leg drop, and they hit it. Like, it's almost in perfect timing when they hit. It's just wonderful. And then Teton, just his again, like I said, he has this like beautiful like springboard cross body, and just it looked so seamless, so effortless the way he does anything. The acai moonsault onto the floor, onto both members of Bullet Club. Like, it was just so smooth. Like, just all these guys are absolutely so good. In the end, Ace Austin got a spin kick, and then his it's a somersault neck breaker, which he calls the fold, and then Chris Bay hits what he calls the art of the finesse, which is a launch off of Ace Austin into an Oz cutter for the win. And just absolutely wonderful match.
Something that I did notice, I actually really, really enjoyed this match. I did notice Teton was in the ring a lot more than Bushi in this one. And I think that was a very good choice. I thought that he showcased both Austin and Bay very, very well. My one complaint is specifically with Bay. I really like his athleticism. I really like the moves he does. But I think that he's still finding his footing in the New Japan ring, where he doesn't. There's points where it looks like he's not quite laying in, where someone like Austin has come in and then shown him kind of how to do it. So I am noticing almost like a leadership kind of role that Ace is taking with Bay. That being said, they are working very, very well together. I am impressed with how they're doing. I wasn't expecting them to pick up this win, particularly because Bushi and Teton had just faced the IWGP champions. But I ain't mad about it because this match was actually very, very good.
And I think giving Ace Austin and Chris Bay the win here made a lot of sense, because you're giving the two, you're establishing one guy who's only been here for one tournament before, and you're also giving this brand new person in Chris Bay, like, you're putting them on a pedestal, showing we are behind these people. Not to say, because Teton's only pretty new, but he's had a couple matches in the company. He's got a win or two. So you've given him. So I think Chris Bay and Ace Austin needed this coming into this as a brand new team that this company isn't very familiar with, versus Bushi and Teton, who they've been seeing for about a month and change now.
Mm-hmm. And Teton also has been somebody who's come over the years in the Fantastica Mania tours consistently with CMLL and their little exchange. So the crowd does sort of know a bit about him. But also Bushi, he's been around a hot minute. I mean, he is a veteran in the ring. Who better to showcase the new guys in the company than two very experienced veterans?
Very much so. But from here, we're going to move on to what was my pick, but I did change it up. The main event of the evening is the tag team from Chaos. You have Yo and Lio Rush versus Yo and Leo, but and taking on from the United Empire, the team of Catch 22 or Catch 22. I'm not sure exactly how it's called, but I'm just gonna call them Catch 22. TJP, Francesco Akira. Again, absolutely bonkers match. This is the match I took the most notes for, because Lewis had the most, I think, of just the craziness in it. Just again, the kicks, the punches, the flips, the flying, the everything from all these people is just insanity, except for one spot, which I'm calling the chaos roll, which is Yo and Leo do this like roll where they're using each other to roll, and it just kind of flopped out at the end, and Leo just stands up and goes, "Ha!" And Leo just had to kind of stand up and just go, "Ha!" And I will say in their second match, they did successfully hit it, but the "ha" out was just it's killed me. I'm like, are you serious? Because you can see him, because you hear him like go "huh" as he jumps, but to me it just comes off as "ha" because it was just such a pathetic like jump forward.
Oh goodness,
dude, it was brutal, but absolutely phenomenal. Outside of that one spot, these guys just killed it. The turns, the quickness of Lio Rush, where he's running the ropes and then he like right turns and goes to the other rope. It's just bonkers. This guy's
Mhm.
abilities, and if not for some personal shit he's had in the past, this guy would be at different levels, and I don't know if it was just be here or in other places, but gosh dang, he's so good. But in the end, Leo Rush and Yo go for 3K, but Francesco Akira did interfere, and TJP gets a jackknife pin on I think it was on Yo to get the win, and kind of it was like an out of nowhere win for Catch 22, and I thought kind of a great way because it's showing you even in Leo and Yo's loss, they look like they took the champions to the limit because the champions had to just pull a jackknife out of nowhere to get this win. They couldn't get it out their normal way. So I thought great way to finish it.
I have to agree. I only have two things to add on to that. And the first thing is, again, back to the crowd. How hot was this crowd? Actually, I got three things.
For everybody.
How hot was this crowd?
For everybody in this match.
TJP.
Leo, too. Like, they were chanting Leo like crazy.
They were. But during that United Empire intro, man, you could hear all the fangirls. TJ. Yeah, I loved it. It was nice to hear him getting the love. The second thing is how dapper. Like, we usually hate on Gideon a little bit, but like he looked pretty dapper in a suit.
He cleaned it up quite nicely. I would say that. So he did it. He again, the face is still an issue, but it's. I shouldn't talk though. Come on, but. He cleans up nicely when he wants to look the right part. He cleans up nicely.
There you go.
But again, he's not wearing unlike at the November 20th show, he wasn't wearing his gear under a jacket. So I think putting it all together made it look a lot better.
Very much so. And the third and final thing I wanted to add is it was nice to see Yo throw a splash of color into his ensemble by wearing a gray jacket instead of a white one.
So just quickly, Francisco Akira, TJP, Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Flying Tiger, Wild Hips, and El Lindemann and Alex Zane all with 2 points, and the rest of the teams with 0 points after the first name. I'm just going to get that out of the way very quickly.